And I know you don't like to look back, but can you talk a little bit about what happened in that third quarter, specifically because it seems to be kind of a consistent thing that second half, third quarter, fourth quarter, something seems to happen.
Well, we didn't play well. I mean, as simple as that. We did not play very well. We didn't play very well throughout the whole game, but it really got away from us in the third quarter, and so that's the bottom line. We just didn't do a very good job coaching. We didn't do a very good job playing, and when you play against a quality football team and that happens, then you get the results that occur.
You look at like time of possession and third downs. It seems like you guys are fairly successful in that. I mean, you look at those, especially time of possession, it's very weighted in Kansas's favor. So what that says is you're getting gashed. For big yards. I mean,
it's saying two things. It's saying, number one, our offense did a good job, especially in the first half, of controlling the ball and keeping the ball and using ball control. And then the other thing is that they scored in big chunks.
So, I mean, what can you do about that? I mean, as a defensive coach, I mean, do you look at that and say, I guess, what do you say when you see that? I mean, what kind of things do you have to adjust, or is it just a lot of different things?
Well, it was several different things, and we got to first look at ourselves as coaches and see what we're doing, and making sure that we got the right guys in the right position, and that our scheme is okay. We got to make sure that we're schematically we're doing things correctly, and then go from there. And then from there, we got to make sure we're getting the right guys on the field to be able to execute and be able to make plays. A lot of that stuff is it's kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then it kind of compiles, and then you end up with a performance like we had Saturday.
So, all the rest of the coaches talk about speed, trying to get more speed out there, but you're the kind of guy that since the season started, really, you've been pretty happy with your unit. I mean, does that apply to your unit? I mean, needing speed, or
I think it applies across the board. I mean, obviously, we like to be a faster football team at every position, and D-line included, especially off the edge with our pass rush. We haven't been as effective these last couple of games as we were earlier. Now, we did get some pressure at times, and we never sacked him, but we did get to him and hit him and hurt him and did some things. But we just would like to have more speed coming off the edge in our pass.
Moving forward, can you talk a little bit about Oklahoma State, kind of some of the things you expect from them, and some of the things your unit specifically is looking for?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, the tempo. They're a tempo team. They try to get a lot. They try to run a whole lot of plays. I think they're averaging 87, maybe 87 something plays a game. So we're looking. We know the tempo is going to be an issue. Next thing we know is that the offensive line is they're solid. They're a very good offensive line. They mix the run and the pass pretty well. The running backs are really good. They got a couple of really good running backs. So, they're rushing the ball really well for 300 yards, and they're throwing the ball 359 or 69 yards a game. So they can do both. So obviously we got to make sure that we're matching their tempo. We're not letting them get us disoriented by the tempo. That's the number one thing. We got to get lined up, and we got to make sure that we're ready to play when they snap the football.
And how you do that? I know you guys are around 8 deep, 9 deep. You guys sub in quite a bit, but like you said, with that tempo so fast, you kind of have to do that by drive more than play by play.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose your times when you're going to try to substitute. And then when the ball gets closer to your sideline, and you can get you want to change a defensive lineman out or so, you can do it. If it's at either end zone or on the other side of the field, you got to be careful trying to get a guy in, because you may get him in, but you may not get the other guy off the field in time. So there's several ways you can do it. Some people say, hey, you're going 4 plays, and in 4 plays, next guys run out there, you run off. So there's different ways you can do it. The to try to get the substitution groups in there so you can try to stay as fresh as you can and be able to stick with that tempo. So those are things that as we go through practice, it's hard to I don't care trying to simulate that tempo. You're never going to be able to do it in practice just the way they do it. So I do think that some of our kids have played against it, so they're going to be ready for it. They know how fast it is. It won't surprise them. We got some new guys that it'll be a surprise to.
After week after week, it just seems emotionally kind of draining to kind of go through, kind of be in games and then be out by the end, or lose at the end, or whatever it may be. But what are some of the things you can do, or you've been doing, to try to keep their confidence level up, keep them loose, and keep them having fun?
Well, you got to look at the positives, the things that we've done well. At halftime, you're in the game with the 7th-ranked team in the country, and and you got a chance to. The game is in balance. You got a chance to win it or lose it. So you got to look at the things that you've done well in the first half when you were competitive, and then try to do more of that in the second half.
Are they staying upbeat? I mean, do you get the sense that they're still confident?
Yeah, I think the guys still working hard. I feel that they still believe that they can win and that we can continue to get better. I think they've shown that in this week's preparation.